Welcome in, everybody. It's great to see you guys. Hey, listen, it's Dr. Dave. It's so good to see you guys, David B. Mills. We're excited and welcome into another episode of The Blueprint. We're excited. This is a men's empowerment podcast where we empower men in the areas of relationship, areas of finances, areas of leadership, and as a father. And so today we're excited that we have an incredible guest available for you. I want to let you know that without a doubt, what we do here is The Blueprint is this. We minister to men and help them grow and lead. This is the blueprint. We want to give you tools and equipment to build a life with, to build you up, to strengthen you in every place. And so every week, what we do is this: we take time to be able to have somebody we interview. We do it on 3 different levels. We do an interview that comes out bi-weekly. That's on YouTube. You'll get it. You can watch it. You can listen to it. It'll build you up and strengthen you. Then we also have a Facebook page that daily gives you out information to empower you also. Along with that, we actually have an in-person quarterly time where men come together to be empowered. Leaders, trainers, business owners, authors. We come together to build men intentionally. We are building men for this generation and for the next one. And today, we're going to be blessed. We got another incredible guest with us today, and his name is Pastor Kevin Kelly. We are so excited about having you with us. Welcome in, man. Welcome into The Blueprint.
Thank you for having me on this awesome show. Thank you.
Wow. Listen, I'm excited about having you here. I salute you as a leader, as a pastor, as a coach, as a mentor to so many others, as a kingdom man. I celebrate you, man of God. I mean that. So I know you personally, but I want to give them, the professional background. So they got that already. So in case they need to find you, but we'll give them information about how to find you and all that kind of stuff also. All right. This is Mr. Kelly, Kevin Kelly. He's a certified life coach and a founder of Life by Design Coaching, a firm that focuses on delivering great value by helping families, individuals, business owners, and executives plan their goals. And so in that, along with those things, he also does some other things. One of them is that with over 30 years of professional IT and experience as a U.S. Air Force veteran, Kevin brings knowledge, proven abilities to facilitate workshops, seminars, training. His career, his re-entry mentor, trainer, certified marriage and healthy relationship specialist, driven by his great desire to help others. He makes his clients a priority and also maintains the utmost level of professionalism by listening to their vision, working alongside them, and achieving their best results. He is an incredible man of God, driven by all those things. He is also a loving husband, over 26 years of marriage to Miss Angel Kelly. We celebrate you and your family, man of God.
Wow, thank you. That's so much. That bio is so long. Oh my God. I was like, Kevin is a lover of Jesus.
Listen, man, we are excited about all of who you are and all of what God is doing in and through your life, man. I mean that. So today, man, on here, man, we just ask these questions because there's guys listening from all over the nation, man, and they, trying to get some insight on what it takes to be a man, what it takes to be a husband, how we do these things called finances and relationships and all these things. And so we really give them some foundation, some things to help. So if I say to you, Pastor, when you look out and see culture and you look at, what manhood is and what's happening with manhood, what do you see happening? What do you see happening?
What I see happening in manhood is I see a gap between the generational X and baby boomers, but also see a large gap between the millennials and generational X. I'm just going to keep it like that. I see a gap in the image of fathers, the image of manhood. I think there's a lack of the proper positive. There's an image, but there's a lack, I believe, of positive images that we may have seen in the past in the previous generations. And so then that leads to, okay, then what's the cure? What will be the cure? So the father's coach. Now our mandate is to reform the image of fatherhood, to reform the image, because there's an image out there already that's been out there acting crazy in the news and culture. And I think sometimes it's by design. So I want to reform that. I want to change that. I want to change that image. So, and we're doing it. We're doing it piece by piece.
I salute you, man, because I really agree with you on that right now, because specifically because of all that we see and know within our culture even right now. And I know for me, man, where there is no picture, you don't know what your future is. And so if I don't see a picture of what a man is, I don't see a picture of what a husband is, I don't see the picture of a father, I'm gonna be groping for grasping for something and I don't know what it is. And so I think some of the anger that we see in culture and those
I think you're mute, Pastor Day. You're mute.
There we go. There we go. There we go. I don't know what happened there, but all right. But anyway, the ideal here is this: is that in the ideal of that, I know for me, I didn't have the picture, so I struggled with that, and it created anger and frustration because I didn't know where I fit in culture. I didn't see the picture. I grew up without a father.
Wow. And the funny thing you said about the picture, and you just really, you spawned something inside of me, because you got to have vision. Without a vision, there's perishing, right? And so if we don't, and if you do have vision, or if you're a man of, you got something, we don't just go to we always go to one end of the spectrum. But say you go to the other end of the spectrum, that's okay. And if you have vision, I think it'll take another man with sight to see inside you to help you with the vision. But I think you got to have a vision. You got to be able to see something. And I got to tell these guys sometimes, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I so love that, man, because they gotta have that, because I think it's necessary for, you know what, I need somebody, I need a mentor with character, so I know what that is. I need somebody that has the track record, that built the family, that built the destiny. Somebody that has done this thing, so that I know that they can help me as I process through life with this thing. And I know for me, man, when it came to that, it was just, I was lost until I came to Christ. But then help me with this, man. When it comes to this idea of that manhood process, I think too is is making sure that men understand what accountability. I tell them all the time: men do T's, boys do I's. All right, men do accountability, responsibility, integrity. You know what I mean? Loyalty. Come on, we do T's. We don't do I's. And so there's a different mentality about what a man does and how he operates. What do you think?
I agree with that. I agree with the integrity, accountability. I think that even every man that consider himself in leadership, I believe that every pastor needs a pastor. Every coach needs a coach. Every mentor needs a mentor. Like, who's pouring into you? I believe that person needs to be healthy. With a mentor, my life has changed because I had mentors in my life. I watched my father, how he had mentors in his life, how he had, even in church leadership and everything. He always went out to lunch. He always went out to dinner. They went out to the diner up from North Jersey, right? Okay, so they always went out to the diners and stuff like that. He was there with the bishops and everything. They were talking and they were chopping it up because he wasn't raised with his father.
Yeah.
He wasn't raised with his father, so he has surrogate dads. So I was watching how, as a young boy, how my father had surrogate dads in ministry that were kind of, mentor him in ministry, and my father had his own business and stuff. And so I see the need of having mentorship and coaches, because without that, you're going to perish. Without that insight, without that sight, without that vision, you're going to perish. You're going to be left alone, just doing your thing,
I agree with you, Pastor Kev. Pastor Kev, help me with this one, man. This next one, man, is now we talked about this issue of manhood. Now we got to give them tools for that, the equipment for that. Help me out when it comes to relationships. What do you think is going on with relationships, and what can help that?
I think what will help relationships is people who are whole. I know I needed relationships. I needed someone, of course, mentor me, and that mentor me mentee type relationship, but definitely the peer relationships. I needed somebody to hold me accountable. Now, my general go-to is to be like an introvert. I'm an introvert. That's what they would call me introvert, but you give me the microphone, I'm an extrovert. So whatever that is whatever it is, right? But I'm okay being by myself unless I have my assignments. I could go in the lab, I could go write a book. I can go in the lab, I can produce a business, I could do all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, a friend of mine about 16 years ago, older dude, he's my best friend today. He pulled me out of that shell. He was like, man, I'm telling you, you married and everything, you got good, but you need somebody else in your life. Because that's some things that you won't be able to share with your wife. You're going to need to bounce some things off that are good, or some things that are not so good, and somebody to check you when you're off. You need to be able to filter some things out, and that mentor and other peer relationships I had in my life had helped me to temper me, especially when I was younger and everything. They had to temper me and just like, yo, you got to do this and this, right, and blow off steam, and also just to be a filter for me.
I think that's so good, man. I think that's so good because we need that in so many different ways, because so many different things have happened in the ideal of our life. But also, I think too, because I know for me, I tell people all the time, I said, when I grew up, I realized my struggle was I grew up carnal. I learned how to be a consumer, then I learned how to be a conqueror, and so I caused collateral.
Yeah,
but it was in ignorance. I didn't know what truth was. And so that was a major part of it. And then when I came to Christ, and then somebody said, hey, you're supposed to be a cover. You're supposed to be a cultivator. And you're supposed to lead your family like a king. And I was like, oh my, what is a cover? What is a cultivator? You know what I mean? A cultivator makes sure that he waters and nurtures everything that comes into his life. So I got to water and nurture my wife, water and nurture my children, water and nurture every person who comes into my world, so I can become that cultivator like Adam. Then I can be that king like Jesus, and then cover them the way that God will have me to cover them. But if you don't have that, I tell you about, if you don't know the purpose of the thing, abuse is inevitable.
I tell you what, the previous generation, I didn't see many of that in the previous generation cultivate their wives. Now, we always said, like the wives will help and they support their husbands, support the visions and everything. But very few men that I saw and seen in my past, they was actually pushing their wife up in their purpose and in their destiny. So that cultivation, I didn't see that much. I had to be developed into that. I remember to the point is when I first relocated down here to Delaware, I was just been freshly married. I think we was married 1 year before we relocated down here to Delaware, and then just trying to work things out, just being saved and understand. Even though I was church all my life, but I had just got saved. Just after being overseas and all that kind of stuff, military. I came back home, met Angel, then we got saved, and then I didn't know how to cultivate. And then the funny thing, so I get saved, and then all the masculinity and all that who I was before, I became a church boy again, right? So now this man who's probably a year younger than me want to call me son. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, what's going on this? So I didn't understand it. So the funny thing is, this is so funny, Dr. Dave. In that season, I didn't know how to cover my wife. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to cover or nurture. I just know how to be a husband and do what I do.
Yeah.
Pay the bills and do what I do, right? And then I found out that, okay, well, the pastor, I know he's over us. So how's my pastor covering my wife? I'm supposed to cover my wife. The Lord dealt with me some years later, was like, I need to teach you how to cover your wife. No other man supposed to be covering your wife. You cover your wife. And then so during those years, nearly being saved, the Lord walked me and developed me. And still to this day, I'm still learning how to cover my wife through Blueprint and through tailor-made marriages and all these things and all these tools that we're getting, learning how to cover your wife and cover properly, not just go to church. I just go to church and just do the church thing and all that. No, cover your wife. And if you don't have a vision, your wife's going to pick up some other kind of vision. Either her own vision. And so the Lord was really teaching me through all that, having vision, having sight, having insight and everything. And then us coming together, having a vision. And then I had to come up with something with a life management plan. I came up with a life management plan for the house. And then it's a life management for the plan. I had to change the name to family management because I brought my wife in that I was cultivating, like you said. I was cultivating her gifts. So then I started asking God, Lord, show me my wife through your eyes, Lord. I don't want to see her through Kevin's eyes because that's limiting. Help me to see Angel. I want to see Angel the way you show me so that I can, you said the two become one. The only way I could be one with her if I know her and I see her the way you created her. And then thus God started to developing me and how to cultivate her. And then our home was better. The relationship was better because I got a clue from God.
I so love it, man, because I was the same boat. Because you know what, man, and I'm like you, man. I came out of the world, came into the church, and when I got in the church, the truth of the matter was I was very religious.
Me too.
So I was, you can't do this, we can't, and we wasn't enjoying nothing about Jesus because I was too strict. So I had to learn. And then I read Ephesians 5, and it says, love your wife like Christ loved the church. My name wasn't in the verse. He didn't ever ask me to love her like David. I was like, oh, I ain't in there. He's like, yeah, I ain't asked you to do you. I asked you to do me. And I was like, okay, that's totally different. Because I knew what it was to love somebody. I didn't know what it was to love somebody. I didn't know what it was to love somebody's insecurities, inadequacies, their infirmities, and love them unconditionally as if you don't see them. And cover them, and then forgive, and then build them, and pour into them, and word them, and make them. So that we can become everything that God has called us to be. And so I think that it's huge in the idea of what you're saying, man. Because you have to learn that. You know, we literally have to learn how to do that.
Yes, and I'm so happy that even doing like we still glean from you with tailor-made marriages, you and Pastor Byrne, and also all the things that you have like throughout the years, and we just added those on, and we put it in our toolbox, and that kind of helped us. And I just love that. You know, you create those environments that a grown man in his mid-50s can still learn. Yeah, you can teach me. I mean, teach me. I want to learn more. I want to learn how to love my wife more. I want to learn how to lead my wife more. I want to learn how to lead her through love and care and forgiveness, all that kind of stuff.
You know? I so love that, Pastor, because I think that's the key. Whatever level you learn on is the level you live on.
Ooh, yeah.
So if I ever stop learning, I'll stop the levels I can live on. And I don't ever want to stop that. I will continue to keep on growing. Like Paul says, I'm pressing toward the smart man. I'm still going. And I want to be apprehended for what he apprehended me for. He got me to get me for something. And what he got me for, I want to be able to do that to everybody around me. So, man, I love you for that. And I thank you for sharing that, man, with us today. And then, man, help me with this area, man, because another area I think is men struggle, not only in understanding manhood, not only in another area, but also, how did you learn about finances? And what do you think is going on with finances with our coaches?
What I learned about finances was through trial and error. And then I realized that there was a piece, of course, by God, but there was a piece that, you know, you had to get mentored and coached in. Being a coach, being in corporate America, you think you know that money and stuff like that. But I had to get a coach. I had to get a financial coach. I had to get a wealth coach. And it was Dr. Ken. Dr. Ken was one of the guys. But throughout the years, you know, I've kind of picked up different things from different men, mostly and some men, and then some men of God, you know. But I had to learn how to finance it. Then I had to learn how to share my financial goals with my wife. And that was a pivot for me because I was doing everything because I was mostly the breadwinner. So I was like, I didn't feel the need, and that was a lack of me. I didn't feel the need to share that part of the vision because you wasn't bringing that to the table. I mean, I didn't say it in those words, but in my actions, I was saying that. But then when I started including her, when I realized that when I started including her, then I was like, oh, she was helping me because she was able to see the gaps. And what helped me, I'm telling you, Dr. Dave, what helped me was that when I revealed to her the plan, when I revealed to her my aspirations, instead of just doing it, when I revealed to her that I was a winner, I was a champ. Then I was like, wow, that's all I had to do was to show you my paper? Was to show me my paper with your name in it and stuff like that. And I was a winner. And then I realized, okay, I need to communicate that more better. And then whatever gaps that I had, then she could fill it in. Then she felt a part of our vision, and it wasn't just Kevin bringing home the bacon. And then now we going on family trips and we going this, that because Kevin's footing the bill, you know, that kind of stuff. I had to change my trajectory.
Hey, listen, you don't know how many brothers you helped with just the last 2 minutes. All right. Because the ideal here is that when we come there, in every area of our marriage, we're supposed to have intimacy. And that includes financial intimacy. So we can't be married and be divorced financially. Come on, some people are married and they separated financially. But the Bible says that 2 or 3 days agreement, he's going to be in the midst. So if we bring agreement and alignment, God will show up in it. We're giving him access by sharing it by each other. And now we can pray for each other, work with our partner and all that inside of it. But if we don't do it that way, we're going to struggle because we divide.
You know what I learned, Dr. Dave? I was in some area of my life. I've grown this area So I'm able to share this with authority, right? So there was times when there was transitions in our household, whether it was employment or whatever, or shifting into business or whatever. So I knew my wife probably her funds were running low. Not that I was peeking into the account or whatever, but I kind of knew. You kind of feel the vibe, she run a little low. So then I asked her one day, I said, you got money? She was like, I got a little something. So you going to Jersey, visit your people? She was like, yeah, I got a little something. I'm good. I'm like, no. A man should not, no, you should just be good. You should be great. So what I did was she told me that. Later on, I hit her up Cash App with the money, right? And she didn't see it. I was like, hey, did you check your Cash App? She said, oh, why you do that? I said, because my wife got to be good. She got to be good. Not because she's going to Jersey. She got to be good because that's my wife. She got to be good. She got to have money. Whatever I got, she got. If I'm low, whatever, then I just go to the credit card, do whatever you got to do, type of thing to make things happen. But she needs to feel loved by me. And my prayer, even today, I'm feeling emotional right now, but my prayer is that she feels the love of God every day, and that she feels the love of Kevin every day.
I so love that, man. You have no idea how you're being a blessing right now to so many people, because I believe that the way we demonstrate love is by Christ. And what Christ did, he gave everything to his wife. He sacrificed for it, man. And so he was doing that out of love. And he never had to say, do you love me? This is how much. You know what I mean? And so much so for a woman, man, security will lead to intimacy, will open up doors for intimacy. And security, some of that is knowing that stuff is paid for. You ain't got to guess about, the lights gonna be on, stuff gonna be paid. You got you handling the bills, taking care of stuff. But then when you go to that next place, I'm gonna be your biggest blessing. I'm gonna bless your person. I'm gonna bless your vision. I'm gonna bless your purpose. I'm gonna bless your life. Well, I'm gonna be I don't want any other man to bless them more than me. I want to be able to say to her, has anybody ever gave you more than me? And I want her to be bold. No, ain't nobody ever gave me. No, because I'm your husband. I'm the demonstration of what that looks like. And financially, we had to learn it because we came from the projects. So we messed it up the first couple of years, Kev, let's be honest. We jacked stuff up. Then we got some discipline. Then we got some crown training. Then we got some more financial training. Then we learned not just to get it and spend it, but to hold it, but to invest it, get some assets, not be liability. You know what I mean? How to do it. And then we learned as we grew. But it took all of that. And as long as we communicated about it, unity brought about oneness, and then God could bless all of it.
He blessed all of it. And that's something that I wanted to share. It was on my heart. I share this a lot also with the students. I want to reform the image of fatherhood even in school. So it's not just something I tell people at church, not something I just tell people on podcasts, stuff like that. No, I actually walk this out as much as I can, even with the youth. But I call it the 5 F's. It's the faith, family, friends, fitness, and finances.
Yes, sir.
And because I don't want to just teach those people out there and try to impact them, I want to live this out with my wife, my daughter. We talked about faith in God, and I got faith in her. We got faith in God, and she got faith in me. We got faith, and then the family, we do the family thing. We got family date night, we do all that kind of stuff, right? And then the friends, those people who are healthy and stuff, and then fitness. I want to be around to 120 years old, fit. And then the finance piece, like you were saying, that finance piece is very major. Long as we got a firm foundation, like this is called blueprint. You got to have the blueprint and the foundation, even for money. Where we going to go? Even her retirement, my wife's retirement, my wife's retirement is up to me. It's not up to the government. It's up to me. It's, and I'm gonna share this secret to you, only to you, right? So the secret is the retirement is gonna be like real estate, just property, that's for my wife. Because God told me that if I give you, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. And then when God was really revealing that to me, is right before, I want to say a couple of weeks before TaylorMade some years ago, that you had up in Newark, Delaware.
Yeah.
And I asked the Lord, would you back me if I buy my wife the car of her dreams? And he said, yes. So I got a couple of prayer partners. I got a couple of mentors, spiritual mentors to back me. And what they said was, the next week after I put out the prayer request to those powerful men of God, right? Yeah. They was like, Ed, did you get the car? I was like, no, I'm still believing God for it. They was like, oh, we already prayed for you, man. Go get that car, man. I went and got that car. And I got that car. We went on vacation, and we came back from vacation. We went to your TaylorMade, and I told that testimony to you guys out there that I wanted to bless my wife.
Come on, man.
It was a faith. It was a faith. It was a faith. But God told me during that whole process, because you wanted to bless your wife with that, now I'm going to bless you.
I think that's the whole key, man. He gives us a wife. That's where that favor kicks in. He that finds a wife, he gets that favor from the Lord. And God knows you're going to use the favor to cover her. Come on. You're going to use that favor to bless her. You're going to use the favor. I'm not getting it just for me. I'm getting it really to bless her and to cover my family. And so I think that's huge in the idea of just, you know what, wanting to be able to demonstrate that. And particularly for our community, as far as our culture, they need to see that, you know, as men, we honor one woman. We love her all our life to the end of our life, to our last breath. And that's what integrity is. That's what character really is. And there are men, a bunch of men, still living this way, even in this season. And we need to know it without a doubt. So I celebrate you, man. And I appreciate you.
It's funny, it's funny because in our culture, the Black culture, you know, men floss a little bit. We get our stuff, right? But the thing was, I got her stuff. I didn't get mine. I got her the luxury thing. And then God got me mine later, right? But I got her the thing. So I let her floss, and I let her see that. Yo, this. I'm happy, man. I'm a shepherd, and I'm a man of God. I'm a man of God in my house first.
And she never has to guess who's your wife. You or the church. You already showed it. See what I'm saying? See, for us, we understand. Our church is our wife. His church is the church. His wife is the church. And we understand that balance, that I'm supposed to demonstrate what it looks like to everybody else in my culture, my congregation, and everybody around me, even to my children, and let them see what this looks like when it's healthy. Not perfect, but healthy.
Healthy. I love that.
When they see that healthy man loving his wife, healthy wife loving her husband, they're working through things. They go through things, but they grow through things also. That's when it's like a major blessing in the idea of my life. The other thing I want to ask you about, man, is I know your father's coach. Leadership. What's leadership to you, and how do you walk it out?
Leadership is that's an open-ended. That's a great definition, though. Thank you for asking that, because leadership these days is more influence, right? More influence, but I get that. I get when they say influence. So I say, okay, I could go with that influence thing, and got people following you and stuff. But the real deal is, I learned this from people that I'm following, that I had to become a follower. So there's a principle called followership. Followership is the leadership principle that no one is talking about. Because whenever you talk to kids and you talk to a lot of people, when you go to schools or you go to even talk to young adults or whatever, you know, I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. But in order for me to have become a leader, to have somewhat of an influence, I had to follow Jesus, I had to follow God and everything, but I had to follow a man of God, a healthy man of God. I had to follow him, a man that was actually married, and she looked seemingly happy, and with the kids seemingly like they father, you know, and doing those kind of things. But I had to follow. I had to use the principle. No one's perfect, but as long as they were healthy. So like you were saying, I had to follow someone. So to me, leadership is healthy followership and influencing.
I so love that, man. Healthy followership. That's so key, because you can't just leave without knowing that. You got to be able to do it and learn it. And I think
I still follow.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it the rest of our life, hopefully. So it's the idea that I got to learn. I'm gonna be an example of what I'm after.
Yes,
I got to be an example of that as a servant. I got to be an example of it with Christ. I got to be a servant leader. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Because Jesus said, I didn't come to be served. I came to serve. Now, how is the King of Glory going to show up as a servant? But he does, because he has that much security, one, and he also understands the maturity that it takes to do that thing. That's a powerful thing. And so I think that's so powerful in the idea of what it looks like to be able to be that leader. That, you know what, we have to expand people, we have to give them experience, we have to give them exposure as we are that example for their life. And as we amplify Christ in everywhere we go and what we do. I think that thing of leadership is so powerful that it gives that pieces of that. So if I said to you, give me three of your top characteristics of a leader.
3 characteristics of a leader. One, that have followed someone. First, one have followed someone. and someone that's teachable. Or follow some, one that's teachable and accountable. Because I think leaders need to be accountable also to the people that they are leading. Yeah.
I love it.
It's more, but because I see some leaders that it's them and God. And I'm like, what? That's you and God. There's no checks and balances. I'm like, there's no checks and balances. You got to be learning. You got to be, what books are you reading?
And why are you reading alone?
I like that.
Come on, man. Because see, my thing, man, is Jesus was exposing the disciples to everything he was going through and going through. Yes. So if I'm reading it, my leaders got to read. Why? Because if I say something, I want you to understand. Oh, this is what he mean by that. We all have the same mind, same unity, same thought process about my life, about everything. But if we reading the same thing, you're gonna learn the same thing. And I know you have it. And I think leaders create leaders. They don't create followers.
Right. That's right. That's right. Wow, I love that. This is good. You're blessing me because I think I always thought, well, we was taught this, that there's shepherd's food and there's sheep's food. But I'm like, well, I thought we was kings and priests. We were priests. So there's shepherd's food and there's sheep food. If I'm eating something, they should be able to eat it too. So that when we're dialoguing and we're chopping it up, iron sharpens iron, they understand the language that we're talking
about. Come on, man. And then they get that exposure, but they also get the same appetite.
Ooh.
So now when you take your daughter and she eats some filet mignon and she gets some shrimp and she gets some crabs, she be like, don't put no little snack in front of me. I know there's something else. I know because my dad gave me a different appetite. So if I give my leaders a different appetite, come on, we're gonna be eating on a whole nother level.
And living and operating on a different level. Living and operating on a different level. Oh my God. I had to learn that even as a husband. I had to learn that years ago as a husband, that it wasn't just, this macho thing or just super spiritual thing and whatever. But she was my intercessor. So I need to tell my intercessor, this was up, so she could cover me. And not looking for about this all day. Not looking for somebody external to cover me. Hello?
I think that's the worst thing a brother could do. I think it's the worst thing a brother could do. Because I think that, matter of fact, she already loves you and she already knows all your issues. So,
I still love you.
Right. And unconditionally love you, knowing the insecurities, knowing the infirmities, but still believing for the glory of God through your life. Still believe in the vision that you gave her. Still believe in the faith that you shared with her. And then you're going to ask somebody else to pray for you? No. Girl, you better come over here. And listen, you ain't got to go far to get two or three. You got one in your bed. Come on.
You share a pillow.
Come on, brother. Yeah, man. You blessing me, man. Not only this area of leadership, man, I got this other one, man. This is where you are the bomb at, man. Incredible way. And I mean that, man. Being ideal of who you are when it comes to this father's coach thing, man. Help us with this ideal of what it means to be a father, what it means, what the need of it is, our culture. Help me with that.
I'm telling you, reforming the image of fatherhood in our culture was actually the blessing to me. And actually listening to you one time when you said that you wanted to impact 1 million, I think. 1 million.
Yeah, 5 million now,
yeah, 5 million now. But when you said 1 million, it stirred me up to have vision and not just for the people who I saw and who circled around me. So then I started thinking about influence, and I was like, wow. So a father needs to have a good name. A father needs to have a good name for his child. My daughter needed to see me love Angel. Mm-hmm. My daughter needed to see me love her unconditionally. Need to see me give her things. Need to see me, even have even in times of hot and heated fellowship. Need to see me repent to them. Need to see me. I'm sorry. Or even times that I was talking to my daughter, and I had the wrong tone, but I was correct. But I had the wrong tone. So I had to go back to apologize. So she needed to see a man. She needed to see her father, even nurture her with that. But she also needed to see a father in his element. She needed to see my father produce books. She needed to see a father, do whatever. And books was my thing, and books and whatever business. She needed to see me in my element so she could see, okay, well, this is what a man looks like. You know, he repents, he does things, he's a man of God. You know, when Layla wakes up, Layla's my daughter, Layla Jade wakes up. When she wakes up, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'm already up praying. So she sees a man praying, and God knows, you know, this is, man, she sees me up praying and reading the Bible. She sees that. You know, I mean, that's that by God's grace, I am a good father. By God's grace, I have been influenced by other men of God, even my father's friends and his peers. It's by God's grace, Pastor Dave. I'm telling you,
I believe it.
God's grace that I can do this. I can have a podcast, and I can do all of this by God's grace, because, you know, I don't have, you know, I'm not as gifted as anybody else. I'm not as all this. I'm just who God created me to be, and my daughter's able to see that. She's able to see a man that loves the Lord. I hope I answered your question. You just got
no, you did. You did perfect, bro. You did perfect.
She get to see this. I get to be her father. I get to be her father. I get to tell her no. I get to spoil her. I get to buy her those Converses that she likes. I get to do that. I get to pray for her every night before she go to bed. Even if I'm out of town, I get to pray for her every night. Before she goes to school, I put oil on her, and then I declare Psalms 91 and Goshen over her.
Yes.
Father, it's God's grace that I get to do this, Pastor David.
Hey, listen, man, it's His grace. But let me say 2 things real quick. Bro, you one of the most skilled persons I know. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Hey, listen, I think what people tend not to do, man, is, and I look, when we look at Proverbs 17, he says, "He that finds his gift, whatever way you turn it, if it's precious to him, he'll turn it and it'll produce." You know that your gift is precious, and because you've turned it into the book, into the podcast, into a church, into a family, bruh, you are doing it, man. I celebrate you, and you are one of those gifted people that, watch this, have grown into it, and now is maturing it, but didn't keep it, but now is giving it back out to other people so they can get it for themselves. So I salute you in that, and I celebrate the fact that you are one of the greatest travel champions I know. I mean it. You are an incredible champion for fathers. There's been generations behind us that struggle with this thing, but they won't struggle because of Kevin Kelly. Some people will get a picture of it, they got a character of it, they got a vision of it, because of not just what you say, but because of what you do, how you love your wife, how you do it. I'm like you, man. I'm overwhelmed, man, some days, because I didn't have a father, but he made me one. He made me.
Yes.
He made me nurture. He made me a cover. He made me a caretaker. He made me a character shaper. He made me an arrow aimer. He made me something. I was like, God, I didn't have it. He said, yeah, but you got me, and I'm the father that will father you, so you can father them. So I'm down this road now, man, with these 5 arrows, man, and and they like, we ain't getting married, we get somebody like you. Wow. And I'm like, y'all, they from like 24 to like 31. They're like, no, if that man if he ain't got God, he ain't got character, he ain't got integrity, he ain't got that. We waiting on God. And I'm like, like you, they saw an example of it in the house. So I know it's possible. I grew up with it. I watched it. I lived with it. And I watched it love me. Even though, and what I love about best about Kev is this: they saw me imperfect, but now they see me perfectly imperfect. So they saw me grow from the man that I was to the man that I am. So they know too that they can grow the same way. They can humble themselves and repent, because we repent. We humbled ourselves, so they can humble themselves.
Yes.
Come on. You know what I mean? And so when we do that exemplary leadership, man, that servanthood leadership, man, ain't nothing like it on the planet.
There's nothing like it. It's so it's pure, it's humbling, but then at the same time, it's empowering.
Oh yes,
it's empowering. I mean, you know, I share this sometimes, you know, and I say it in front of Angel when she was her friends or whatever, and it was like, you know, well, what Angel gonna do? What Angel gonna do? I was like, well, Angel's washing my underwear. She's washing my underwear. Why can't I do this for her? Sometimes I get out the bed before she does. I get out the bed before she does. She makes the bed up. I don't take that for granted. She makes the bed before she goes her day because I left out earlier. Oh, she's washing my clothes. She washed. I mean, I don't wash that many clothes. She washed the clothes. Yeah. I don't take that for granted.
I think that's
she got money in her pocket. I'm gonna make sure she got this is her office where we're in now. This is her business she's in, right? So I'm gonna make sure she get clients. We believe in God for clients, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah. So she's gonna be fine because she's my wife.
Yes. I so love it, man. God, I mean, you blessing me today, man. You encouraging me, you strengthening me, and you're gonna bless so many people that watch this, man, because they're gonna get the tools and the instrument. They got a blueprint to build with when they're watching you. You a blueprint, man. You a blueprint, and you're laying it out in such a way I can read your life and I can build from it. I can read your love and I can build from it. I can read you as a father and build from that. So I salute you, man. I appreciate you, man. I want to share a couple things real quick. Do me a favor, man. Tell them a little bit about the book you have also. I think the book is called Time Dominion by Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, Time Dominion is actually a time management book. It's a time management book, and I love it because years ago when I wrote the book, I was always doing workshops and seminars on time management, how to fit all these things into one day. And then I got a clue. It was like time dominion, taking dominion and taking control over your life. You didn't have to fit everything. You just have to be purposeful and have and be intentional with what God has given you. And so that book is to empower everyone. It's to empower everyone on time, how to manage your life.
I love it, man. I want to salute you, man, as Pastor Kelly. I want to salute you, man, as author Kelly. I want to salute you as podcaster Kelly. I want to salute you as Pastor Kelly. I want to salute you most of all as husband Kelly and man of God Kelly. I mean that, man. You have blessed our life and you have blessed us tonight on the blueprint, man. This is going to bless so many brothers and sisters and who they are and when we can walk out in the earth. So I celebrate you. I thank you. I wanted to shout this out to y'all on the blueprint. Please continue to follow us, go on and hit that subscribe button, man. It's going to bless your life. It's going to encourage you to continue to grow. Everything that God has for your world and for your life. You can subscribe. You get to get these every other week. Coming out with somebody else that's going to encourage you, strengthen you, and give you life and give you wisdom. Like Pastor Kev gave you tonight. All that wisdom you got in this much time. I mean, I know your life is blessed. So listen, I want you to follow us on both Facebook and Facebook page. Follow us also. We're going to different regions. We do blueprint in posts. We do that. Then we also do this bi-weekly podcast to build men and strengthen men. We celebrate you guys and we thank God for each and every one of you. We'll see you soon. Thank you for being with us. We build the men for this generation and for the next. We thank God for you and we appreciate you. Hold on, Pastor. I'll be right with you, buddy guy.
Okay.